Welcome back to the channel, everyone. Today is an absolutely beautiful day to dive headfirst into the wild, unpredictable drama that we all simply cannot get enough of. Grab a coffee, get comfortable, and let us unpack the absolute chaos that just unfolded. I have this feeling that something massive is being hidden beneath the surface of all these supposedly sweet and protective gestures we are seeing right now. I mean, we are watching these characters smile, hand out chocolates, and plan romantic evenings, but I strongly suspect there is a ticking time bomb just waiting to go off. What if the very people trying to fix the mess are actually the ones about to ignite a total disaster? Keep that in mind as we unpack today's events because I have a theory about what is really going on behind closed doors, and it might just blow your mind. Let us start by talking about poor Naomi. In my opinion, she is carrying the weight of the entire world on her shoulders right now, and I genuinely do not know how she has not completely snapped yet. With Bill stuck in a hospital bed, Naomi has been forced to step up and manage his entire firm in his absence. If you ask me, that alone is enough to drive anyone to the brink of exhaustion. The corporate pressure is immense, and she is trying to keep a massive empire afloat while dealing with her own terrifying health struggles. I think Naomi is doing her absolute best to keep the ship from sinking, but the stress is visibly eating away at her. And as if managing the firm is not enough, she also has to deal with Tomas. I feel like Tomas and his massively inflated ego are deliberately trying to push Naomi over the edge. Every single time they interact, I sense this deep underlying resentment from him. I suspect he simply cannot stand taking orders or even collaborating with her because his pride is bruised. I think Tomas believes he should be the one running the show while Bill is out, and he is taking his frustrations out on Naomi. I could be wrong, but I feel like we are witnessing the slow unraveling of Naomi's patience, and Tomas is just sitting there happily striking the match to watch her burn out. But the corporate warfare is only half of the story. Naomi also finds herself playing the ultimate peacekeeper at the hospital. We all know about the absolute circus that went down in Bill's hospital room with Hayley. Now, Monica is stepping in, demanding answers. She pulls Shanice and Ashley aside, heavily interrogating them about what exactly happened between Bill and Hayley. I think Monica is just trying to do her job. After all, she mentioned that a lawyer actually called her to discuss the issue. When lawyers start making phone calls, things are getting serious. But I feel so incredibly bad for Shanice and Ashley. They are just trying to do their jobs, care for their patients, and suddenly they are caught in the crossfire of this toxic, chaotic marital drama. This is where Naomi really shines, though. She completely interrupts Monica's intense interrogation, fiercely defending the nurses. She makes it crystal clear that none of this was their fault. But here is the part that really got my brain working. Naomi promises Monica that she will go directly to Vernon to make this entire problem go away quietly. She claims Vernon will use his own unique methods to suppress Bill and ensure the hospital's reputation is not damaged, while making sure Hayley finally pays for her ridiculous behavior. Now, here is my first major theory. I think Naomi involving Vernon is a massive, catastrophic mistake. Yes, Vernon has incredible power. Yes, Vernon can make problems disappear with a single phone call. But in my opinion, Vernon's methods are usually ruthless, dark, and often come with heavy collateral damage. I suspect that by handing this over to Vernon, Naomi is unknowingly setting the stage for an all out war. Vernon is not just going to give Bill a stern. I feel like he is going to utterly crush Bill and Hayley, and in doing so, he might accidentally expose secrets that will drag Naomi and the entire family into a public scandal. I could be wrong, but I do not think Vernon knows how to do things quietly anymore. I think he is going to drop a nuclear bomb on Bill's life, and Naomi will be the one caught in the radioactive fallout. Wait until you hear what I think about the romantic side of things, because while Naomi is fighting corporate and hospital battles, love is supposedly in the air for others. But I have a sneaking suspicion that one of these romances is built on a very fragile foundation of lies and overcompensation. Let us pivot to Ted and Shanice for a moment. While Ashley clocks out so she and Naomi can finally start their much-needed girls' night, Ted shows up looking like a classic romantic hero out of a movie. He brings chocolates for Shanice, gives her a sweet, affectionate moment, and then takes off. It looks adorable on the surface, right? Right after that, Monica comes back from speaking with Bill, and surprise, surprise, Bill claims the whole hospital room incident was absolutely nothing. That is classic Bill, always downplaying his own catastrophic messes to save his own skin. But the real highlight of this scene is Shanice telling Monica, who, remember, is her aunt, that Ted wants to meet her brothers. And Monica is actually super impressed by this. Here is my second theory, and it might ruffle some feathers among the fans. I think Ted is rushing this relationship with Shanice way too fast. I feel like he is heavily overcompensating for his past failures and insecurities. Bringing chocolates, making grand gestures, asking to meet the protective brothers, it all feels very performative to me. In my opinion, Ted is secretly terrified of losing Shanice, so he is trying to lock her down and prove his devotion before she realizes how messy his emotional baggage truly is. I suspect that meeting the brothers is going to be an absolute disaster. I feel like they will see right through his charming, polished facade and realize that Ted is still untangling his own complex web of issues. I could be wrong, but I think Ted is setting himself up for a massive reality check, and Shanice might end up getting her heart broken in the process. Now, let us get back to our girls, Naomi and Ashley. They think they are just going to have a quiet, relaxing night to decompress from the hospital insanity. But Jacob and Grayson have entirely different plans. They have completely set up this elaborate, beautiful Mexico-themed surprise night for them. When Naomi walks in, she is absolutely blown away. I think it is such a heartwarming, visually stunning scene. Naomi has been under so much relentless pressure, dealing with her health, the firm, Tomas, and the hospital drama. Seeing her genuinely thrilled and deeply grateful for this relaxing escape is beautiful. She really needed this break, and Jacob thanking Grayson for helping him pull it off shows a great moment of camaraderie between the guys. I think Grayson is really trying to redeem himself, and helping Jacob with this sweet gesture is definitely a step in the right direction. But guys, this is where the tone dramatically shifts for me, and it honestly made me want to scream at the screen right in the middle of this beautiful, relaxing, Mexico-themed night. What does Jacob do? He brings up the impaler. He literally cannot help himself. He stands there, ruins the peaceful vibe, and fiercely vows that he will not rest until the impaler is brought to justice. I mean, come on. I feel like this completely shatters the illusion of a safe, peaceful getaway. Naomi is finally trying to breathe, trying to forget about the chaos for just one night, and Jacob drags the darkest, most dangerous criminal element right back into their living room. This leads me to my most controversial opinion yet. I think Jacob used this surprise party as a complete smokescreen. In my opinion, he did not just set up this Mexico night to help Naomi relax. I suspect he set it up to alleviate his own massive guilt because he is planning to do something incredibly reckless regarding the impaler. I feel like Jacob knows he is about to go entirely rogue, putting his life and his family's safety on the absolute front lines, and this party was his twisted way of giving Naomi one last good memory before all hell breaks loose. I think Jacob's obsession with catching this criminal is a disease, and it is going to end up hurting Naomi far more than Tomas or Bill ever could. I could be wrong, but I feel like Jacob is spiraling completely out of control, and this party was a desperate, transparent attempt to pretend everything is normal when it is actually falling apart. If you really look at the psychology of this entire situation, Naomi is surrounded by men who claim they want to protect her, but in reality, they are just adding massive amounts of weight to her burden. Tomas challenges her authority because his fragile ego cannot handle a strong woman taking charge. Bill recklessly endangers his own health and the hospital's reputation, forcing Naomi to step in and clean up his messes. Vernon promises to handle things, but we all know his brand of protection usually feels like a mob boss calling in a hit. And then there is Jacob. Sweet, loving Jacob, who builds her a temporary paradise only to immediately remind her that a ruthless crime boss is lurking in the shadows. I feel like Naomi is trapped in a cage made of other people's chaos. I think she is the strongest character on the show right now, but even the strongest pillars will eventually crack under too much weight. Overall, I think we are witnessing the calm before a massive, devastating storm. The chocolates, the parties, the promises, they are all just band-aids over bullet holes. I suspect that the next few days in this town are going to be explosive, and Naomi is going to be caught right in the center of the blast. That is just how I see it. I could be wrong. What do you think?